Okay guys, as I promised, here's my little review of the Q2n handy video recorder. Basically it's just, as you can see, it's quite small, fits in my hand, it's quite ideal. It's got a little tripod mount in the bottom that also clips off. You've got a couple of AA batteries in there, and you've also got your SD card, the mini SD that fits in there. This one's just a 32 gig one, which will get around about 2 and a bit hours at 1080p and top quality audio. So, which way did I put that? Yep, so click it on. Yep, so anyway, you've got this wide lens at the front. I think it's 160 degrees, which means that you can get quite a wide field of view without actually having to position the camera too far back, which is good. You've got a few settings that you can change, but anyway, just looking around this, you've got an XY microphone at the front, so you've got these 2 points here. So this will be pulling audio from this way and this one from this side, so you get that stereo effect. Over to the left of it, you've got the a headphone socket, and you've also got an external mic in if you want to use another microphone instead of the built-in one. And you can adjust the volume there for your headphones. On the left side, you've got your gain. So when you're setting it up, you basically just watch the audio meters, and then you just adjust the volume so that you're not actually peaking out, but you don't get your red bars, but you just get it to the volume that you want. It's supposed to be able to withstand quite a decent volume, so it's made for like being on stage with a band, hitting it pretty hard. So yep, so that's a very handy feature. You've got the a USB in, it's kind of like the, I'm not sure what you call that connector, but it's the same one as you got on a Kindle. The same cable from a Kindle works with that. You've got an HDMI out as well. Okay, so on the back you've got a few buttons. You've got essentially your play, power on, record, and then your settings or exit. And video, field of view. Scene is like setting the white balance based on where you're positioned. It could be indoors, outdoors, fluorescent lighting, and about 7 other features, and it calls them like bands or disco or whatever. Low cut, this is if you've got like a whirring sound in the background. You might have a computer on. The sound of the power supply or the fan spinning gets picked up by this because it's quite sensitive, so you can actually set the low cut to raise the level up a little bit so that it actually cuts out that very low whine, and then it's quite clear. Audio just lets you see what setting, that you want for audio. It could be like a high bit rate or a low bit rate. Auto gain will sort of disable this section and just automatically apply what it thinks is best. So I'll just power this on. Okay, so you've got this pretty decent LCD here. You can't quite, I've just got this on my desk so you can see my dirty desk at the moment. But yeah, so you can adjust the field of view here using this button. You can see that little dot move up and down. So if you got sort of in the camera, you can sort of see it zoom in and out. So I've selected on that one, the last one. As you can see, the audio levels are moving with my voice. So if I were to adjust the volume on the side here, as I just discussed before, it will actually go higher. So it actually increases the sensitivity, and then back. So I had mine around about 7, which wasn't too bad. But if I'm completely quiet, you can still hear it move, see the levels moving, and that's because my computer's just over to that direction, about 3 feet away, so it's picking that up. And also the wife's got some jazz playing in the other room, so it might be picking up a bit of that as well. The video, you've got like 1080, at 30 frames a second, 24 frames a second. You've got 720p as well. So you've got the 24. You've got 720 at 30 frames a second at 24 frames. And you can also use it just as a microphone to turn the video off. Whoops, sorry about that. And that's handy if you just want to do podcasts or something like that. Put the video back. So I have mine set at 1080 and 30. Over here, you've got, that's the low cut I talked about before. If I turn that up, I'll raise it a little bit more. As you can see now, it's not picking up that whine. It's the left and right, we're at 0. And if I take that up a little bit higher. Okay, now if I put it back to normal, as you can see, it's picking up that low hum now. So that's pretty handy feature actually. So if get the audio now. So at the moment I've got it at 96 kilobit, 96k 24-bit. So I can change it to 44.1, and as you can see, it will modify the amount of time I've got to record on this particular card. As you go up, it'll use more space, the higher the quality that you're going to use. But hey, if you're going to use it, I reckon just go the highest quality and just get a better card if you can't fit it on. So I set it to up to 96-bit, and I'll lose about 12 minutes. Okay, so in the settings, you can choose the HDMI out, PAL or NTSC, your beeps, your play mode, formatting the card, plug-in power. You can actually use that USB port here to actually power the unit so that you don't have to use your batteries. But to do that, you have to plug it in first, have the power there before you turn it on. So that's pretty handy. You can use it as a webcam. So basically you just say select webcam, you say start the webcam, and if you've got that plugged in, that USB into your computer, you can use whatever software you've got to use it as a webcam. I'll just hit no there. You can use it as a card reader, so instead of actually having to open this up and pull a card out and put it into a card reader and plug it into your computer, you can just plug that directly into your computer, navigate to here, use card reader, and you should be able to just copy the file straight off. Card reader for iOS I haven't tested, but if you've got the right cable, which I don't, you may be able to just read the files off on your iOS device, like iPad or iPhone or something like that. Also, you can use it as a mic for your iOS as well. That's something I haven't tested out. Excuse me. Okay, so yeah, you can just, when you get this, you set up your time and day and your battery type. I've set it to alkaline. Excuse me. Power savings. Now you want to set power savings on, because I had a couple of batteries which I didn't have these set, and it just like drained it. So you want to set that up so that it turns itself off when it's not being used. Otherwise you end up getting to where you want to be and you've got no power. Yeah, so that pretty much wraps up my basic review for you guys of this unit. It's around about, I think it was around about 150 US, but I have to just, I've bought a few things lately and I can't remember what price I paid for which, but it's a pretty good unit. Very, as you can see, it sort of fits in the hand really well. One thing I will say is, if you're going to throw it in a bag, this lens, you can see it protrudes out, and it tends to easily get fingerprints and stuff like that on it, and every time I use it, I'm always wiping it, so it might pay to just, buy a bit of foam from the local Clark rubber or something like that, and just make a little pouch for it and just throw it in that, and then throw that in your bag. So I've actually got this set up to sit on top of a tripod, so I pretty much just sit that on top of there, and good to go. So yeah, the only other thing I noticed is that for some reason, and it could be my computer, is the files, when you copy them onto the computer, it plays the video, but it won't play any sound. But when I plugged it in, when I copied the files onto a Mac, there was no problem at all. It just, the QuickTime just played it. So it could be a codec issue, or I was using Windows 10, but I'm using it on a pretty dodgy old computer, to be honest. So that could be just something at my end, but so I don't know if anyone else has experienced that yet. Pretty new device, so I haven't seen any reviews on it myself, other than just the one from Zoom that are sort of marketing it. So anyway, if you want to get one, so far I do recommend it, and I'm going to be recording a bit of piano with it later. I'm going to try it for a few podcasts, although I do have my Blue Yeti Pro microphone, which I probably will use for podcasts more. But you know, if the audio comes out all right, I'll probably use this, because this is pretty easy to maneuver around, and it'll save me moving the Yeti Pro off the keyboard, off the piano. I've got it mounted over the piano at the moment, and gets to be a hassle when you keep moving microphones around and setting them up. You've got them in the right spot, and that's just annoying. But so yeah, so I'll end up having a few of these dotted around the house where I want to be when I do my recording. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this review, and if you've got any questions that about anything, if I've missed anything or you want to know anything else about it, just let me know. Cheers.